Well, the World Championship is upon us. Is it extra special?
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, it's the biggest tournament in the world, and obviously being the World Championships, without a doubt, it's an exciting time of year anyway because it's Christmas, and you've got the world's best dart players there.
As exciting for you as it is for the players and the fans and us, the commentators?
Without a doubt. Yeah, you go out there, you got the buzz. It's like I say, the biggest tournament. So to actually be there, calling it the biggest tournament is. Well, it doesn't get any better in our sport, does it?
The biggest stage as well. It's huge at the Ali Pali.
It's absolutely massive. It really is massive, and it's funny because when you walk on the stage, all our other stages are a lot smaller. When you actually walk onto the stage, you feel as though you're, a lot of pimple on elephant's bum, if I can say that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're lost up there, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's a different atmosphere, though, isn't it, to the Circus Tavern?
Very much so. The Circus Tavern was all low ceilings, everyone on top of the stage. There, the crowd are a long, long way away from you. And like I say, we mentioned the size of the stage, so you're a small integral part within this massive big area. Fantastic.
The Circus Tavern, an integral part of darts history.
Without doubt.
One of the most iconic venues. Of course, we're going back there in January for the Players' Championship finals again. I guess, though, with the Ali Pali, it's going to take time, isn't it, for it to become recognised and to create a unique atmosphere?
Certainly. I mean, when we very first went to the Winter Gardens in Blackpool, you played to 30 people and a janitor. Now you can't get a ticket for love and the money. And all these places and everywhere needs building up. The Ali Pali now, Alexandra Palace now, is getting that way. You're going to start getting big crowds in the afternoons for the matches, and then it'll be set out over the quarterfinals, semis and finals anyway. So but everything needs building.
35,000 people plus are going to be at the World Championship. I mean, that's phenomenal, isn't it?
It's incredible. When you look at the way darts has gone and the way darts has been put over the last, decade, 12 years, it's massive, and it really is. Obviously second to football. It's the biggest sport in the country.
Of course, last year we saw the first ever 9-darter at the World Championship, and good old Russ Bray weren't calling it this time.
No, sadly, I've had my fair share of them, but which again, I mean, that shows how big the tournament is. Over the years, there's only ever been 2 in the World Championships, and. Obviously Paul Lim done the very first one back in the late 80s, early 90s.
You're old enough to remember that, though, aren't you?
I am, unfortunately. I remember sitting watching it. I remember sitting watching the first one. So, but when you look at the darts now, with what the PDC have done, with what Sky's done, obviously the input of Unicorn with all the bits and pieces, then at the end of the day, for sure, darts is so high now. So high as it's ever been.
Got to ask you, I mean, Taylor's odds on to make it 15 world titles. Let's take him out of the equation, shall we, just for a minute? Who's going to challenge him? Who's going to come to the fore this year at the Worlds?
Great thing, if you take Phil out of the tournament altogether, if you was to take Phil out, he couldn't get there.
A lot of players would wish they could.
Wouldn't they just? I'll tell you what, you would then have 32 players there. Without a doubt, and certainly our top 32, and some of the qualifiers, you always get shocks, but you'd have 32 players there that could all believe they could win it. And the strength and depth of the PDC as it is, any one of those 32 could win it. Number 2 to number 32 could win the World Championship if you took Phil out of the equation. With Phil there, obviously it's a different ball game, and Phil is a phenomenon. I've said this before, he's an absolute phenomenon, and they've got to be on their A game and hope Phil's on his B+.
You see so much darts and all of the players all of the time, at all the tournaments. Just give us a name, perhaps, or 2 names from left field who we might just see making an impression at the Ali Pali this time round.
I honestly believe someone like Colin Osborne could certainly do some damage. Colin Osborne is a fantastic player. And we've said it many times, obviously, Adrian Lewis, as a you're talking about the left-hand side of the field, you could never exclude Barney or James Wade. So to me, that would be probably, if I was a betting man, that would be how I'd look outside on it.
Got to ask you finally, what's with the beard?
I'll tell you what, if I'm being absolutely honest, it's pure laziness. I mean, I had a few days off and I never bothered shaving. Well, I don't bother shaving when I'm not working. And I had a few days off, and then I went off to Prague with Eric Bristow, and I got out there. I thought, well, I'll have a shave, and I just went round it as a go-to, and I thought, I'll just have a change, see what's what. But we'll see how long it lasts. I mean, the wife ain't impressed, so it probably won't last long.
Will we see it at the World Championship?
Might do.
Enjoy the Ali Pally.
Thanks very much, Stu. Thank you very much.